Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another day in my life. Now today was very exciting because we did a couple of food DIYs here on our little homestead in the city. I was actually really excited to make the title of this video when I realized that we were making pickles, pasta, and pesto. Those are the three magic P's right there, if I do say so myself. I was super excited to make all of these meals for different reasons, so I'm excited to share them with you. Other than that, I will be bringing you along for all the things that I did throughout the day and the beauty that I saw. If you like seeing these videos from me, please consider giving it a thumbs up. And if you're in a binge watching mood, I do have a playlist of all of these day in my life, week in my life videos that I've made. And I also have a food playlist. So if you're in the mood to watch someone cook food, I will have that linked down below as well. And with that being said, let's hop right in. All right, so I'm starting this video off at church, actually. I haven't brought you guys with me to church in a while, and this is Sunday morning before service, so that's why the building is still empty, because Dan and I actually both get to be a part of the worship team. To those of you that don't know, Dan plays the bass, so that's what he does for the team, and I get to sing. I think I've told you guys this before, but being a part of worship team has been such a cool experience for me, not only because I love music and I love worshiping through music, but I also love getting to do the team with Dan. I actually feel like we're in like a movie, like we go as a couple together to church to play music. It's really fun. And also it's just been such a cool learning experience because I've never been a part of a band or anything. So seeing people play music together and how they play their different parts and working with an inner ear microphone has just been a really cool experience. By the way, this building might also look familiar to you if you've watched all of the music video covers that I've done in the past, because I actually filmed the cover that I did with Landon Austin of In the Middle by Jimmy Eats World here at our church.
Just try your best, try everything you can, and don't you worry what they tell themselves when you're away.
I actually have a Spotify page with all of the covers that I've done over the years, as well as music videos here on YouTube. But in case you didn't know, I do have my music up on Spotify and iTunes and all that jazz. Kind of random and out of order, but this is the sunset from the night before, and I didn't even edit this. Like, that's how saturated and vivid the sky was, and I just thought I would share because it was so beautiful. By the way, I haven't shown you guys any updates on our back room in a while, but Dan has made so much progress. It's actually insane. So I wanted to give you a little scan of what is going on. Two things that have nothing to do with construction: my Crocs, which I'm obsessed with, and then my merch sweater. If you haven't seen these yet, they're so comfy. They come in pink pastel hearts and then olive green, mustard, more like earthy tones. It's so comfy and I think it's so cute, obviously, because it's my merch. We've actually released a couple of new limited edition pieces on the site. By the way, I always fail to mention this, but this is actually a collaboration I did with a clothing company called Barnabas, and I love all of their pieces as well as what the company stands for and where they donate part of their profits. So yeah, now at this point I wanted a snack, and I love this einkorn cereal from Young Living, so I had some of that with this Almond Breeze almond coconut milk. By the way, if you're pregnant and you're looking for short but informative videos on all things pregnancy and labor and delivery, Bridget Taylor here on YouTube is awesome. Dan and I have slowly been watching through her entire library, and she is awesome. Okay, next exciting moment. I have been dying to try these silicone pads, and CO actually sent me this little bundle pack. And to those of you that don't know what this is, I will be showing them to you like on my face in the future, but it's basically strips of silicone that go on your skin. There's no product on it. You put it on clean, dry skin, and it's supposed to help encourage collagen production and kind of trap and capture moisture within your skin to help plump it up. People actually say it's a great replacement for Botox because the wrinkles literally like repuff and fill up and fade away. Now, this was only like a week, maybe a few days after we started making our vanilla extract. I made this in a previous day in my life, but every couple days we like take the bottle out of the cupboard, give it a shake, smell it, and it's smelling really good, people. We still have like 3 months to go, but hey. All right, on to the first P of this video, and that is pickles. We really want to learn how to make fermented pickles. Now, I will give a spoiler alert. We kind of messed these up. I ended up eating a couple a few days later, but we need to kind of practice and mess with the recipe a little bit. But I am obsessed with the channel Farmhouse on Boone, and she's done quite a few videos fermenting different vegetables. Apparently, fermented foods are great for you because they're basically like living probiotics. So I take probiotic pills, but I really like the idea, especially preparing to deliver. I'm about to have my group B strep test actually. I liked the idea of putting more probiotics in my body. So we kind of followed Lisa's recipe, although I'm so bad at following directions. I don't want to insult her and say we followed it and really like I probably messed it up. So she did a mixture, I believe, of about 4 cups of water to 2 tablespoons of salt. And we used our Himalayan sea salt. And what we're making basically is the brine for the pickles, but with fermented foods, the brine is literally just salt water. So we heated that up a little bit, let the salt water absorb. Side note, I took a little break to roll on some Peace and Calming. I love this oil blend so much. If you didn't already know this, I am actually a distributor with Young Living. So if you ever have any questions about oils, you're looking to get into the oily world, you want to place an order, any or all of that jazz, feel free to send me a DM on my oils Instagram account. Back to the pickles. I purchased these fermentation lids online through Amazon, and they look like basically like nipple lids, and you attach them to the top of mason jars when you're screwing the lid on. There's basically like a hole at the top that allows the air to escape while you are fermenting your veggies. And this is kind of crazy. And this is what I mean about fermented vegetables being like easy. So all we did was chop up our cucumbers, which in retrospect, I wish we had fresher cucumbers, and I wish we had been letting them soak in ice water because I think both of those factors contribute to the crunchiness of the pickle, but that's a side note. And we filled up a 1/2 gallon mason jar with these pickles, as well as those jalapeno slices we had chopped up earlier, and some garlic cloves. And then in the mini mason jar, because we had leftover cucumbers, we just did cucumbers. And then we took the salt water and we ladled it in. So this is why, in theory, it should be easy. You are literally supposed to just put salt water, and it needs to be like actual salt. I know that there's some kind of salt that like doesn't have iodine or something like that. Really, everything I'm hearing is that like pink Himalayan salt is the best. So anyways, you fill it up and then you put some kind of weight. We bought these little glass discs off Amazon, and what that does is essentially keeps the veggies beneath the surface of the saltwater brine so that good bacteria is able to flourish, yet simultaneously the salt keeps the bad bacteria at bay. And with cucumbers, I guess you only need to leave them out for like 2, 3, 4 days, depending on the temperature of your house. I think I left them out too long because when I tasted them, they were okay. I'm also not positive I've ever had like truly fermented food, so I might just not have been used to the taste. But then I just let them sit for far too long and they grew, I don't know, something weird on it. But we will be trying these again soon. I just wanted to share this with you guys as like an idea for a fun project and a healthy project that is worthwhile to try for any of you that are interested. Now, another fun project that didn't make the title because it didn't start with a P was restarting our sourdough starter. So this was a live active sourdough starter that Dan had dehydrated like, I don't even know, man, 6 to 12 months ago. And we had been wanting to restart it because I want to start experimenting with other sourdough recipes besides bread. Things that are quicker, like pancakes or pizza crust or English muffins or bagels. So on this day, we decided to restart the starter. So that's what you're seeing happening. Now, unfortunately, this too was also kind of a fail. Although this was more of a fail than the pickles, because the pickles, yeah, I didn't love them. We learned a lot and I did get to eat a couple. But with this, the sourdough kind of got restarted. So that was amazing to know that you really can restart starter from a dehydrated starter. But over the next day or so, we ended up kind of adding the wrong proportions of like flour and water. It really is a science. And so this ended up failing. That being said, Dan and I will be trying this again like this week, probably. All right, is everybody ready for the moment we have all been waiting for? This is actually so funny. I'm stopping myself because I was about to say, wait, this was a fail too, but it was not a fail in the taste department. Although I did put a little too much salt. Wow, I'm jumping all over the place. But my basil plant on my tower garden, as you can see, has produced a ton of basil. And so Dan and I decided that we wanted to make a batch of fresh pesto. I love pesto so much. And actually, let me just back up here. It's crazy looking at this footage because my plant has literally grown again so much since this point. Now, since this is the video of fails, I will say a couple of the leaves did have these little, like, I don't even know what they are, like bug, mold, something situation. I don't know. Tried to not freak out and I just picked them off the plant and kept all of the good leaves and they were really good. And yeah, brought the basil downstairs and I picked all the leaves off, threw it in my food processor. Then I peeled a couple of cloves of garlic, threw that into the mix. Then I threw in a couple of macadamia nuts. I know people like to do all kinds of nuts, walnuts, pine nuts. We just really like macadamia nuts. And then I squeezed in some lemon juice. Then I poured in maybe like half a cup of organic extra virgin olive oil. And then speaking of using different nuts, people also like to use different cheeses. And we are a huge fan of the unexpected cheddar cheese from Trader Joe's. As you guys know, the taste is amazing. And so I put that in there. And then I also threw in some salt and some pepper. So is everyone ready for where the fail comes in? Like I said, it was actually a tiny fail, but not really, in the sense that I put too much salt in there, but it still tasted really good. So that was not the fail. The fail is the fact that after scooping in all of this pesto into this Tupperware, at the very end, I dropped the Tupperware. Yeah, this wasn't funny. I told Dan I actually felt like Charles on Little House on the Prairie, where like his whole crop goes down. I was like, I've been growing this basil plant for so long just to get this pesto. And then 80% of it was lost because we were gross and did scoop the top portion up that was not on the ground. That didn't leave very much. That being said, like I mentioned, looking back, I'm now realizing my basil plant has actually regrown a lot. So I'm probably going to be making pesto again like this week. Is everyone ready for another good recipe? Now, I actually can't remember if we had already made this recently. This is definitely one of the meals we will be making when we do our freezer cooking for the 4th trimester. But even if I've made this before and you guys have seen it, then just take this as a reminder of how good this meal is. This is a Cajun chicken pasta that I was inspired to make from the Pioneer Woman. We love this stuff. You basically just use tons of Cajun seasoning to cook up your chicken with some butter. You make some veggie broth on the side, and then we sauteed in butter a ton of bell peppers and onions, and then put in a ton more Cajun spice and let that cook for a little bit. Then, and this is funny because we bought this parsley from the store, I think, but my parsley in my tower garden is now so huge and there's so much of it. We either need to like make a meal with parsley or I'm gonna have to freeze it for smoothies or something. That was random, but Dan chopped that up because we wanted to put a lot of parsley on top of the pasta to give it that fresh taste to kick through like the heavy dairy meat taste. So then once the veggies were done, we took that off the pan and I poured in some wine and the veggie broth and we just kind of let that all simmer. I kind of like scraped the Cajun flavoring off the bottom, and then I added in some of this heavy cream that I had. And then I let that cook and kind of reduce a little bit. And then we threw in the chicken and the veggies. Dan's opinion, by the way, would not be to throw in the chicken. He wishes in retrospect we had just added the chicken separately because he feels like the chicken tasted better by itself before it became like part of this soup. I can see that. I still like this though, so I think either way is a good idea, just throwing that out there. And then Dan grated some cheese that he wanted to throw in as well. It might have been more of that unexpected cheddar cheese. Then we tossed this organic einkorn pasta that we had in the mixture and then topped it with the fresh parsley. And oh my gosh, it is so good. This is one of my favorite meals. I'm not gonna lie, I love it. So yeah, guys, that is it. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you missed my other videos this week, I uploaded a menu recipe idea situation for the holidays, and the food was so good. Like, I tell you guys when I think I failed something, no. All of these recipes were amazing. And then I uploaded a day in my life on Monday as well that showed how we made our vanilla extract and just a bunch of other random, I think, fun stuff. So if you missed those, feel free to check them out. I will hopefully see you back here with another new video soon. And if you have listened to my voice this long, check out the info box because I am doing another giveaway in today's video. So I will have all of the information and rules down there. And with that being said, I am going to stop talking now. All right. Bye, guys.